Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
The fact that it was vandalized is a message in itself.
Right now at 10, outrage for recent graduates at one Connecticut high school after tar is poured right on their Black Lives Matter mural. Also, 2 people charged in what's being called a street takeover. Find out why police say more arrests could be coming. And one Connecticut school district passing a new policy for transgender students. We'll tell you how they say they're making a welcome place for everyone to learn. But first on Fox 61, students at one Connecticut high school upset after someone vandalized a Black Lives Matter mural. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Ben Goldman. All of this happened at Pomperaug High School in Southbury. That's where we find Fox 61's Gabby Molina joining us live tonight after speaking with the former students who painted that mural. Gabby, what do they have to say?
Well, Ben, as you can imagine, they're very upset. And let me paint a picture for you of where this all happened. The mural was painted on the walkway between the school and the football field. And you can see behind me that there are dozens of murals here that students have painted over the years. This is where the Black Lives Matter mural was. And you can see that it is the only one here that's now been covered up. 2 years after a group of Pomperaug High School seniors painted a Black Lives Matter mural, someone erased their message by pouring tar over it.
To be vandalized under pretty harsh circumstances, using tar instead of just paint. So that was definitely pretty shocking.
Police are now investigating after an administrator reported the vandalism last week. Those who created the mural also left searching for answers.
The fact that it was vandalized is a message in itself.
It's one the students had gotten before, facing backlash when they first painted the mural.
When we first did the mural, we got a lot of threats from mostly students wanting to vandalize it right after we made it. It was a big controversy.
But that was exactly why they created it in the first place, with the goal of making every student in their community feel like they belong.
A town like Southbury, there's obviously not that many people of color or LGBTQ plus people, and painting that mural is really just like a symbol for those people who want an environment that's more safe.
They're hoping that can be shared once again.
I would like to see a mural recreated, whether that's somewhere else more permanent or in the same spot.
And though they've all graduated and are now scattered in different parts of the country, the students still feel a connection to their hometown and say they won't be silenced.
That's something that we shouldn't have to put up with, this is our home too, and we're not going anywhere.
We did reach out to Regional School District 15 tonight. The superintendent said that he can't comment on any specifics because this incident is under police investigation. Southbury police are asking anyone with information about this vandalism to give them a call. Live in Southbury, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
Gabby, thank you. Meanwhile, in Enfield tonight, many in town are outraged after high school football players were called racial slurs while fundraising for the upcoming season. Enfield superintendent says one person called the teen a slur when a group of players arrived at a house while going door to door. Enfield police say that someone admitted to using a slur, but there's no criminal law banning the use of it alone. The town will hold a series of talks about race and inclusion following this incident.
We did not want kids, adults, the community in general to think that that was okay. So we are jump-starting one of our community conversations that we've been planning to have over the course of the next year.
The first of those community conversations will happen on the Enfield Town Green Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Well, we're following developing news tonight out of Watertown, where fires destroyed a barn on Lickfield Road. So far, no injuries have been reported. There were no animals inside when that fire started. Firefighters from Woodbury helped Watertown crews at that scene. Stay with Fox 61 for the latest on air, online, and on the news app as well. Time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a look at the forecast. And Rach, too early to look at the weekend, or is that allowed?
No, we're allowed to look at the weekend. I mean, we even allow that on Monday nights sometimes too. And it is looking like a warm and dry weekend ahead. We still need the rainfall. We got a little bit from this storm today, but certainly not enough. Most of the state ended up with 1/10 of an inch of rain or less, but there were a few lucky folks out there that got around 1/2 an inch or more. But I mean, that was the exception rather than the rule. A few showers that are still out there right now in parts of northern Connecticut. We will take whatever we can get here, but as we head through the course of the next couple of hours or so, we're going to continue to dry things out. Temperatures are in the 60s to right around 70 degrees, and heading through the course of the day tomorrow, it's brighter and warmer with high temperatures climbing into the low to mid 80s as we head through the afternoon. Why are we keeping an eye on the night sky tonight? We're going to talk more about that. Plus, a big day in Connecticut history today, 67 years ago. We're going to talk more about it coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Another town in eastern Connecticut is telling residents to cut back on their water consumption as the state faces ongoing drought conditions. Putnam's Water and Sewer Department's instituting a mandatory water ban. That means non-essential water uses like watering lawns or gardens and washing cars will not be allowed. That goes into effect tomorrow. A letter will be mailed to Putnam residents to alert them of that water ban. Well, new at 10, 2 people from Chicopee, Massachusetts arrested 2 months after what's being called a street takeover in Bristol. This here is video of the incident on June 17th at the intersection of Route 6 and Stafford Avenue. Bristol police say 21-year-old Kylie Morrison and 19-year-old Loya Lewis are facing charges. The street takeover is being described as when street racers block off intersections or a portion of a road to allow drivers to perform illegal and dangerous stunts. Hundreds of cars were reported in the area that night, and police say more arrests are pending. Well, new tonight in Hamden, police are looking for a woman who they say robbed a Connex credit union on Dixwell Avenue just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. These surveillance photos of the suspect were released. Officers say the woman passed a note to the bank teller demanding money. No weapons were shown. Nobody was injured. The woman, who's between 5'3" and 5'5", left with an undisclosed amount of money. Anyone with information about the robbery should call Hamden Police. Also new tonight, police are investigating another afternoon robbery at Liberty Bank in Meriden. The suspect seen leaving the bank on East Main Street in these surveillance photos. Police say he entered the bank, demanded money just before 3 p.m. He also left with an undisclosed amount in a gray-colored car toward Liberty Street. If you have any information about the suspect or any video along that street, call Meriden Police. State leaders joining parents from Killingly to call for more mental health services in the northeastern town schools. Killingly's school board rejected creating a mental health center for students back in March. The next month, parents filed a complaint with the state against the school board. The State Board of Education is investigating whether voting down the proposal violated the educational interest of the state.
I don't feel that the students' needs are being adequately met. There's been a proposal brought forward that seemed the most logical. It was denied. And the alternative measures that were proposed, there's been one curriculum brought forward so far, but we were hoping that if there were going to be any alternatives, it would be something substantial, such as increased budget for support staff.
Killingly School Board voted last week to approve a new program called Rachel's Challenge, which is an anti-bullying program to help students with their social and their emotional needs. Well, new tonight, with the start of the school year almost here for many kids in Connecticut, help is on the way for families in need. The Capital Region Education Council hosted a backpack and school supply giveaway in Hartford today. Fox 61's Alicia Machado joining us live in studio to tell us all about the special block party. Alicia?
Hey, Ben, a lot of happy kids in Hartford tonight going home with backpacks at this giveaway. More than 1,000 backpacks in total filled with school supplies at their 8th annual Back to School block party. And this year, things are getting more back to normal.
Back in person for a back-to-school block party. Backpacks full of school supplies, pencils, notebooks, and more.
I got 6 grandbabies to raise. It helps a lot.
1,200 backpacks for kids in the greater Hartford area, handed out free of charge at an event hosted by the Capital Region Education Council.
There's a lot of stress about going back to school. And one thing we can take off the family's table is give that child a backpack full of supplies, one less thing mom and dad have to worry about. Child feels ready and confident when they walk in that school on the first day.
Community groups and resources were also available for families to learn about, as well as COVID-19 test kits, hand sanitizer, and soap as kids prepared to head back to the classroom.
I've grew up all my life here, and it's really good to see people come out again in the community for a good cause, especially when it comes to kids.
And this year, volunteers could see kids' smiling faces up close.
After 2 years of doing a drive-through, you can see that everybody's ready to come out and be in person.
I think it helps them to get ready to see everybody in person. We had 2 long years of, too much distance, and kids are ready for it.
The first day of school for Creek schools is August 31st. Live in the studio, Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.
Alicia, thank you. In Groton, Operation Homefront's making sure that every military child has what they need in order to go back to school. The group held a drive-through donation for backpacks and school supplies. Families were able to receive everything from notebooks to scissors and glue to help students start the year off on the right foot and save some money.
It just takes one less thing off the list that you have to worry about, in that when you have so much on your plate, it makes a big difference, to check this off and know that they have what they need.
More than 300 backpacks filled with supplies were handed out there today. We have much more ahead.